But this is another example that is, I think, a little bit more disturbing. So what I want you to do is just visually scan these sketches, compare the sketches as I'm telling you the story of how these came about. These are from a case, and actually 9 different cases in California, where these are sexual assault cases. So these are all from rape victims. And it was a big practice in this police department to do sketches and composites. In fact, there were a few other victims who said that they just didn't get a good enough look in order to be able to do the sketch. So these are victims who had a good enough look to be able to do a sketch. Fast forward a number of years, so you can see that these are mostly 2000 to 2002, and DNA testing was done on all of these rape kits. And guess what? It's the same guy. It was the same guy in the other cases, in the other assault cases as well, but the witnesses didn't have good enough memory in order to be able to do a composite sketch. So, let's see, he wore a hat or covered his hair in some way each and every time. But as you can see, there are, if you look at the dates, teardrop tattoos that are on and off, one side or the other, change in number, just as one example. But the individual looks to be of different racial and ethnic backgrounds from, if you were to pick, kind of 2 sketches. And so the real question here is, and look at the age, the top to the right, the age looks 20 years different. And so the question is, which one of these witnesses was actually a really good witness? In the sense that they created a composite sketch that looks exactly like the guy. And what are the characteristics of that person that you can use to say, the witness has these characteristics, therefore the likelihood of them creating a great composite sketch that could be very useful, right? I've checked all the boxes. There are no boxes. There's nothing that we have that says, these are the characteristics of the witness, therefore they're going to be likely to produce a composite sketch that looks great. There's nothing of the sort. I don't have the actual photo of the real perpetrator, so I don't know which one of these, if any, are even really close to the individual. But the point is that in the DNA exoneration cases and other wrongful conviction cases, the question always arises, how did the innocent person become the suspect to begin with? And unfortunately, the answer, much more frequently than you'd expect by the use of composite sketches in the country, is because someone saw the sketch and called in a tip. So the very famous case in North Carolina, Jennifer Thompson, Ronald Cotton case, and this is exactly how Ronald Cotton became a suspect in the case. Jennifer Thompson did a sketch. It ended up in the paper, probably on the news as well, and people called in. I think I know who that guy is, right? It's Ronald Cotton. Ronald Cotton's photograph ended up in a photo array, and she picked him. And then she picked him again in a live identification procedure. So the question has to remain, if the eyewitness creates one of these and then has this, sometimes witnesses are given a copy to take home with them. The issue about contamination of the witness's memory is their memory of the perpetrator what he actually looked like? Or is it now closer to what the sketch is that they created? So it's not really a surprise if someone sees a sketch, right, says, I think I know who that is, and then the witness picks a person who happens to look very similar to the sketch. Right? We shouldn't be surprised that ultimately happens. So composite sketches are highly unreliable. The other problematic thing, which you won't like at all, is that research shows that if you ask a witness to sit down and do a composite sketch, and then you get the bad guy, and you show the witness a photo array with the bad guy in it, the witness is less likely to pick the bad guy. Their memory has been affected or altered to the point where they are less likely to make the correct identification.